All right, the next movie on our list is The Wizard, starring Fred Savage.
And Christian Slater.
And
Beau Bridges.
Dude, there's so many people in this. It's so great. It's got both 80s dads in this movie. It's so awesome.
Loathe this movie so much.
It has both 80s dads, and they're both Fred Savage dads. And they're not gay. They're just dads.
Just horrible dads.
Just horrible dads.
Okay, Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
1989, The Wizard. Rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour, 40 minutes. This had a budget of $6 million. What do you think this brought into the box office?
Oh, shit.
I hope it bombed.
Why don't you go first, Tom?
I'm going to say $100 million.
Okay.
What?
Alex?
Oh, yeah.
10.
$14 million.
$14 million!
It doubled its budget,
1.21
right?
gigawatts.
Is this not a good movie?
This movie is atrocious.
I got so many stories about when this movie came out.
Oh, God. It made me literally angry to watch this movie.
Me too.
Oh, the entire time we're watching it,
She
Jude,
texted me upset.
I did.
the entire time we're watching it, Jude's just like, I hate this movie. I hate
Oh,
this movie.
Jude, why
I
didn't you
hate this
text
movie."
me?
I didn't want to ruin it.
Oh,
I don't care if I ruin shit for these two. From now on, I should have known. I should have known kids and movies. Alex is going to hate it too.
yeah. All right, take it away, Jude.
All right.
Hated it.
Shitty parents. Beau Bridges and...
Is that really how it starts?
Shut up. Shitty parents, Beau Bridges and the remarried Christine Bateman, split up after the death of their daughter, which their son Jimmy witnessed. Jimmy, suffering from the trauma of watching his twin sister drown, no longer speaks unless it's to say California, the place he keeps trying to walk to from Utah. Jimmy has two half-brothers that live with Beau Bridges, 12-year-old Fred Savage and 17-ish-year-old Christian Slater. When Jimmy's shitty mother and bully stepfather send him to a completely unsupervised institution, Fred Savage breaks him out and they go on the run to California. The piece of shit Batemans hire a bounty hunter to bring Jimmy back. But not Fred Savage. Fuck that kid. Beau Bridges jumps in his lawn care truck with Christian Slater to find the boys themselves. Fred and Jimmy meet Haley, another delinquent youth, on the run, and they devise a plan to hustle people at video games along the way to California. They enter Jimmy in the video Armageddon at Universal Studios, where he makes it to the finals. But just before the final round, all the piece of shit adults show up, and hijinks, kidnapping attempts, and Benny Hill quality chases ensue. Discuss.
It's a great movie.
There is nothing good about this piece of trash movie.
Oh my God, it's awful.
It's fucking horrendous.
Every adult in it sucks.
Yeah.
Every child in it sucks.
Yes.
All of the video games suck.
You know, Lucas was pretty cool.
Lucas was an ass.
He had a power
I love
glove.
the power glove.
Oh my God, and he tried to cheat
He didn't cheat. You guys suck.
because he couldn't take Jimmy on his own.
There's literally like, what? Okay, I've talked about this 1.5 million times. I'm just gonna freaking reiterate it again. When you put kids in movies, you have to make them do kid shit.
They're playing video games the whole time.
No, they're escaping and buying freaking bus tickets to who knows where with no supervision. Oh yeah, hey,
Bought a bus ticket to St. George.
8-year-old boy and 13-year-old girl. Yeah, I'll sell you a bus ticket for $200. Oh, okay. Let me go hustle some 40-year-old men playing video games to get the money.
Okay, we
1989.
have to start earlier than this because Fred Savage breaks him out of an institution,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then 5 seconds later they say they were seen boarding a truck. Like,
thank you.
Who the fuck didn't stop them?
Who's the fucking driver of the hostess truck?
He don't care.
There's 2 kids eating his inventory in the back seat,
They
You
are.
don't
it's
even
just
have
driving
a CB in your truck to be like, hey, there's a couple of minors in the back of my
They
truck.
didn't even wipe
eating
their mouths
everything.
off.
Katie's just gonna lose his shit. Do you want to set this up a little bit before I just destroy it?
What?
Sure.
I told you everything that happened.
No, but
that's
we're
a
talking
fair
about the
scenario.
hostess truck. Nobody knows what the. Yeah, I just. I hate this movie so
They
much.
break out
So
of the
much fun.
institution.
There's so much fun in this
and
movie.
There happens to be a delivery of snack cakes, which is that what you're serving people in this institution?
Yes.
It's parked out front. So Fred Savage and Jimmy hop in the back of the truck and they just eat Hostess Twinkies the way to the next stop, and then they get out and they just start walking. He's got a skateboard.
Because the hostess truck delivery route takes him from freaking some insane asylum all the way to Timbuktu, Utah.
Yeah, close to the mountains.
God damn.
It was the last stop on his delivery run.
Doesn't make any sense.
There was,
It makes all the sense.
there was only one hostess guy, and he had
rural.
a 3-state route.
Yeah, it was rural.
It's a tri-state hostess guy. What the fuck? And he doesn't know there's kids in his back seat. And the bounty hunter's like, oh, they were last seen leaving the insane asylum in a hostess
Let's
truck.
talk about this fucking psychopath of a bounty hunter.
Yeah, that guy has sex with kids.
Oh, that dude's a pedo.
Oh,
I heard he touched her breast.
Oh,
I heard that too.
that was the only part of the movie that I
As
liked.
soon as he walks
like that
up,
Yeah, right
No,
out.
Wait a
hold
minute.
on, stop.
Wait a minute.
Stop.
Right for the pool
There's a
scene.
part of the movie where he gets accused of doing something, and the girl's friends, the big trucker dudes, come out and say, I heard you did something, and they beat the shit out of him.
And you said you liked it.
every time.
That's my favorite part.
Every time the bounty hunter is about to kidnap Lucas, the girl, I forget her name. Haley. So Haley just like points at him and yells, "That man touched my breast." And so like everyone just pounces on him and Lucas gets away. She does it like 2 or 3
which
times.
is the only time anyone in this movie gives a shit about anything happening to kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the amount of like hitchhiking that like underage kids are doing in this movie is kind of disturbing. But then again, it was the 80s.
There's a scene where they hitch a ride on the back of a freaking cow truck.
Yeah, they steal their money.
And they're sitting there and freaking Adam Savage, Fred Savage was sitting there going like, how much money do you have? And they're counting and they have like maybe $87 total between them.
And this guy screeches to a stop, and he's like, "We gotta jack those kids for this money."
So like Haley is going off and on about how she understands truckers and how there's like a code for truckers, and the people who are driving this truck just have a pickup truck. They're not actually truckers, and so like
they're moving a bunch of cattle.
When he sees like them counting their money in his rear view mirror, he's like, oh, that's a lot of money. And so like him and his buddy decide to basically steal all these underage
And
kids'
then they
money.
leave them on the side of the
They
road.
rob them and leave them on the side of the road for $80.
Yeah.
What?
That is the price of 3 kids.
Maybe he had no bucks. And
He
now
was
has
driving a
87
truck
bucks.
with like 7 cows in the back. You couldn't sell a cow?
Well, that's not liquid assets, is
Those
it?
might not be his cows.
It's an NFT. Might as well be an NFT.
I stole those cows too.
It's an NF cow.
I'm just the savagery of that whole situation where they're just like, he just peeks out of the corner of his eye. Oh,
Yeah.
I see a pile of cash. I'm
Yeah.
going to rob these kids and leave them on the side of the road.
The Utah highway cattle thief. That's what he's known for. Yeah, you know him from town to town. They tell tales.
This movie is full of those moments where I'm just like,
So hold on. let me talk about
Don't
this
you
movie
apply
for just a
logic to
second.
this.
I told you he was going to do this.
No.
What you don't understand is
So this is basically like an hour and a half Nintendo commercial.
Yes.
This is what it
very
was
much.
intended to be.
Oh yeah.
And around the time this movie came out, okay, like Nintendo was like the king of like the home gaming market. The big draw for this movie was we were going to get our first sneak peek at Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
And
love that game.
that was a huge deal back
yes.
then because like Super Mario Brothers was like the main game that everyone played. The second Super Mario Brothers wasn't all that good. Like a lot of people didn't like it. And so like there was a lot of hype. And there's actually scenes in this movie, and I remember this, where like there were these call centers that you could call up and get video game tips from because like the internet wasn't a thing. So like you call up, the number from the back of your Nintendo Power magazine, and you'd be like, hey, I'm stuck in this level. Like, how do I get out? And they'd actually have people there to like kind of walk you through the video game.
I saw a whole documentary about those guys a few months back, actually.
Yeah.
It's freaking interesting.
But I mean, like this was a time like I had a subscription to Nintendo Power
oh
magazine.
yeah, me too. Oh yeah.
And I'd read it like every month.
Oh,
and in
yes.
fact, when you went to go see this movie, they gave you these little things. They were called Pocket Powers. And they were like these tiny pocket-sized Nintendo Power magazines that you could like read about like Super Mario Brothers 3 from.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so like this movie was pitched basically as the Karate Kid, but with video games. And obviously like somewhere along the line that went totally out the window.
I was thinking like a young Forrest Gump with video games.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
But the whole point of it is that like Nintendo wanted this movie because like it was basically a commercial for like their Powerglove for their video games and all that stuff. And the thing that is interesting about this movie, so 2/3 of this movie is just garbage.
Yeah.
like absolute steaming garbage.
I'm glad that my opinion is null in this whole conversation.
But then when they get to Universal Studios Hollywood and they have like the big
The esports like tournament.
Video Armageddon tournament.
Armageddon.
Oh God, how much cocaine was that guy on?
So, well, he had a great tie, but so like the thing about this is like, you know, looking back on it, like this was 1989, and at this point, like video games were not like widely accepted, and the concept of esports was just like non-existent. Like esports did not exist. And the kind of plot point for the climax of this movie of like a video game tournament where you had like crowds that were like going crazy and you'd see like people playing video games on a stage, that was something that was complete fiction. Like they made that shit up. But then like fast forward to nowadays, and like that's like, you know, you watch EVO, which is the video game like fighting tournament out here in Vegas, where like they have it at the esports arena, and like that's what it looks like. You know, like this was the precursor to all the esports, and this was the thing that actually inspired people to hold these video game tournaments and have like these like, you know, esports events. And so like this movie was kind of like the precursor to that whole like Twitch centric you know, video game tournament culture.
So what you're saying is this movie is so amazing that it influenced the future in multiple ways. It inspired the way we live
Listen,
today.
man, if this whole movie, this as it stands right now, this is just an absolute trash.
It's got Christian Slater in it.
Trash movie, terrible parenting, terrible family values, nonsense movie to sell a video game. If they would have just
I mean, did you see Problem Child? That makes way less sense.
If they would have just stuck to their guns and had it be about a freaking video game tournament to sell Nintendo games, it would have been so much better. That last minute where like Jimmy, the California kid,
Fred Savage.
No,
the other
Jimmy.
one,
Yeah, I know.
the Rainman one, when he's just sitting there and he's like mashing at video games. If it was just that the whole time, I would have been like, yeah, okay, I can see why this was made in the 80s. It makes sense.
You know what's funny about this movie is just the way video games are treated. And like back then, like this was like, it was like, you got 50,000 in Double Dragon.
Yeah, the high score was a big deal. Yeah.
And like, you know, you still have these like console games and arcades and stuff like that. Like the Nintendo was like the home video game system. And that was like the peak of like technology at that point. But you know, arcades were still a thing. Well, and so like when you go back and you see like all the different video games in this movie, there wasn't anything that was catering to the gaming crowd back then. This was like the first like movie that was like, hey, we're for gamers. Like we got Powergloves, we got Super Mario Brothers 3, we got, you know, Double Dragon, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember playing the shit out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It was a good game. Well, it actually was a terrible game. It was incredibly hard and didn't make any sense, but yeah, it was. I watched them playing it and I was like, oh, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Bo Bridges, like being like video games are stupid to him getting addicted to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was hilarious.
I hate Bo Bridges so much.
How do you hate Bo
Can
Bridges?
we talk about how ridiculous he is when he's going up against that freaking bounty hunter dude?
No. Can we talk first about the fact that he gave up custody of his child to this asshole that she married after they got divorced?
It wasn't his child.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
No, it was his stepchild.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was Fred Savage's half brother.
Yeah, there's
so
a weird...
he had Christian Slater and Fred Savage.
Those are his
he
kids.
married Christine. They had the twins together.
No.
One of them died. They
No.
got divorced. She married asshole.
No, when it was a Brady Bunch situation where
Yeah.
the mother already had the two kids when she married Bo Bridges. And so that was like legally they were half brothers. They weren't like biologically.
That's
half
how I
brothers.
got it too.
I
Yeah,
disagree.
They explain this in the movie.
yeah,
Like,
that's
it's in
what I
the
got
movie.
from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his half brother.
I can't back you up, Jude. I didn't give a shit enough about this movie to pay attention to it.
I was forced to watch it twice, and I didn't get that either time.
You know, one of my favorite parts of this movie
What's that?
is just them like hoboing across the country.
Oh my god!
Like
It's like The Color of Money, but with video games.
it's really bad. Like right in this scene, they're literally in a cave with a fire, and that's just where they're sleeping that night.
How did that freaking 9-year-old start the fire, dude?
Well,
Hey,
we
Fred
didn't start
Savage
the
has
fire,
skills.
but-
He carries around a skateboard with him.
Probably had a blowtorch. It's the 80s.
It's 89. Yeah, for sure. He's got stuff
He at
in
least
that
had a
pack.
lighter.
He's got that.
He's got an army issue canteen. He's got that old skateboard that weighs 45 pounds.
Yeah. His dad was a gardener, so he knows how to do nature stuff.
You know, the best is the tree in the back of the truck.
Oh, it just stays
It's just
there
the whole time.
Whole
It's
time.
like, oh, is that tree?
So I gotta talk. Since you brought it up, I gotta talk about
God, I love this movie.
this
It's so
freaking
good.
dude and his truck and his like jaunt across the country when he's going up against this guy, and he decides that he's so inept at being an adult
Who,
that
Bo Bridges?
whatever his name is, the dad, he has to basically just play bumper cars in the middle of freaking Main Street.
100% I was about to say they're playing bumper cars with each other.
Yeah, like, and they're like, I don't like you. And he smashes into him, breaks his own car while the bad guy gets away with a freaking smashed back end to go, kidnap kids.
Yeah.
No.
And like,
it's great.
What do you mean it's great?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun.
The ridiculousness of the bounty hunter. The first time we're introduced to him, he's like, so don't go after your kid because I won't get paid.
Oh, what a creep.
Oh, what a creep.
And also the entire movie, he's going around to people and he's like, I'm looking for these kids.
Yeah.
And people are just like, ooh.
He's like, the funniest freaking moment about this is when he's trying to be intimidating to this like 12-year-old, and he walks up to the pinball machine. He's like, have you seen these kids? And the kid tells him to go buzz off because who wouldn't?
Right.
And he like
he tilts the pinball
slightly
machine.
lifts up the pinball machine because he's not strong enough to flip it over. He's just like,
no. He was
He tilted it.
Yeah, he tilted it.
He tilted it.
I know that you're not old enough to have played pinball, Alex.
That ruins your game.
Yeah, but when you tilt the game, so like
it like sees you're cheating, right? It has like a sensor in it.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it ruins your score. And so that's what he did.
No, fuck that guy anyway. It's just so stupid.
Fuck everyone in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Including the kids. Like, everyone in this movie, their dialogue is so stupid. Every single person was like, I'm not going to do that. And then they do it immediately.
Dude, remember the scene where they're in the back? I think they're in the back of like an old burnt out freaking tractor trailer truck and they're trying to get some rest. And Fred Savage just pulls out a freaking Halloween mask out of nowhere, puts it on, and the freaking redheaded chick just punches him right in the face for like no reason.
Trying to scare her. Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here?
Well, how about that's one of the things he brought?
Why did he bring a Halloween mask?
Oh my God.
Matt-
He just made it worse.
Matt's been, I don't know, Matt, if you want me to talk about it, but he's doing this murder mystery thing. And it was pretty fun. And he had us all pick like a secondary item that our detective would use.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't use, none of us used our secondary item. And it was very strange. This is the secondary item he picked. it was this freaking mask. Like, that's what you picked? You could have brought anything. A fork would have been more useful than
He's
your
like, I
monster
got
mask.
my blowtorch and my Halloween mask. I'm going on the road.
I actually think the mask was in that like trailer thing. Like they just found
Even
it, like,
creepier.
That's
back
even
It's
scarier.
probably full of semen.
there. You're probably right. It probably was full of semen.
It smells funny in this mask.
That's why she punched him.
That's so gross.
The cum mask.
Oh, God.
Like the whole movie, Christian Slater's like, hey, Dad, I'm really glad I'm here. 4 seconds later, why am I even here?
Oh.
Why'd you bring me? Like,
He's Christian
it's
Slater.
So
He was
fucking
the coolest.
infuriating.
He was the coolest guy in the world for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted Christian Slater to be their older brother.
Oh my God, he was the coolest guy in the world, and it has Fred Savage, arguably America's sweetheart. Okay,
Yeah, he was at the height of the Wonder Years popularity at this
absolutely.
movie.
Sure.
the cast in this movie alone is really fun. It's like every 80s guy, every 80s dad is in this movie.
Right.
And that's fun by itself, right? It's got video games, okay? Double Dragon hard as shit. When they were like, he went
Ninja Gaiden.
When he went through Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden's so hard.
Ninja Gaiden is historically the hardest game ever made because it's so bullshit. But he made it through without dying. He's going through again.
Yeah.
But you know what makes this movie really
Oh, I
stand
love
out?
it.
And this goes to what Alex was saying, like he loves like seeing like Elijah Wood and like Back to the Future too. This was Tobey Maguire's first movie.
Oh, you did know. Okay. R2 is in the chat right now, and he's like, this is Tobey Maguire's first movie.
So Tobey Maguire was part of Lucas's like kind of crew. And Lucas is like the kind of like video game expert who has 90 games that like he
had them all.
Played. Yeah, he had
Oh,
them all.
he had a duffel bag with like a pocket for each one.
Yeah, he showed him.
I'm really good at all
and,
these.
and so like there's a scene at the end of this movie in the video game Apocalypse tournament where basically like Lucas is with all of his entourage and Tobey Maguire's there and he's got like a little mullet. He doesn't have a speaking line or anything like that. But he just shows up and this was like his first like film appearance.
Oh, that'd be a fun week. First film appearances of megastars when they were kids.
We'll be Back to the Future 2, The Wizard, and
But
pick another one.
Jude talked about how
what's
bad
his name in Ninja Turtles? Sam Rockwell's in Ninja Turtles.
Jude talked about how bad the dialogue was in this movie.
Wizard.
It's atrocious.
But there's one line where basically Lucas shows off his Powerglove for the first time, and this was a huge deal back in '89.
It's so cringy.
And no one had one.
And he, like after he like just demolishes this video game, he turns to Fred Savage and he holds up his fist with the Powerglove on it. He's like,
I love the Powerglove. It's so bad.
What?
He sold me. I wanted one so bad.
I'm watching this scene and I'm
this is before the Powerglove had come out.
I know.
And so like every kid who was a Nintendo freak wanted the Powerglove. And I can remember when it finally came out. First of all, it wasn't built for left-handed.
No, he was only right-handed.
Second of all, it was so small.
Yeah, if you're a lefty, fuck you.
Yeah, it was so small that I can remember a neighbor of ours, they got it for their kids. And so we all ran up to like their house to play with the Powerglove, and I couldn't get it on my hand because it was so small.
Really?
And, yeah. And it was very weird because the Powerglove just never worked right.
No.
And it was a real piece of shit.
Well, it only worked for a
Just like
couple of
this movie.
games.
like this is like kind of like a glorified commercial for the Powerglove, especially this scene.
Is.
It doesn't even work in the scene. You can see the kid. He's sitting there like steering the car with the Powerglove, and the car's not going in the same direction
And
that
it's
he's
so
steering.
boring.
Well, the thing about the Powerglove is that in this movie, it made it look like the movement of the glove controlled things, but it was just like a glove that had like
A controller
on it that you could like use.
No, it had the lasers on it. It worked in certain games. Like you couldn't play
What
most
lasers? What were the
games.
lasers pointing
Well,
at?
it was the same thing with the gun.
With the duck hut?
The gun didn't really.
Hut?
The
Duck-
gun kind of worked too, but it was a very similar kind of thing.
How does that gun work?
It hits the screen with a laser and then it recognizes it.
Ill-tempered laser.
Yeah, it reflects it back into the gun.
Yeah.
Which
I will say
relays the information to
That was the pinnacle of video gaming.
When you get the Duck Hunt
The
Super
Duck
Mario
Hunt,
game,
yeah.
the double game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Freaking love that shit.
I remember that day.
Yeah, but back then there were no PlayStations, there were no Xboxes.
No.
It was either Nintendo or Sega.
And Sega
Or
Saturn.
Atari.
And Sega, well, Atari had kind of gone the way of the dodo by this time, but
Yeah.
I still have one.
like Nintendo was the king of the video game mountain, and more and more people were starting to play on their home consoles instead of going to arcades and stuff like that. And this movie was really meant to kind of capitalize on that. This is the first gamer-centric movie I can remember ever seeing, especially in the theaters, because I actually went and saw this in the theater.
Yeah,
And I remember leaving the theater being like, that movie sucked, but it was cool to see Super Mario Brothers
How old were
3.
you when it came out?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
89?
Yeah, because I graduated high school in '97, so
I was 8 when it came out. So
Maybe
this
10?
was like, this movie was like, yes.
I think it was probably
Yes.
around Fred Savage's age, actually.
I had a crush on Jenny Lewis. The whole thing, man. It was like
Oh yeah, she was really cute.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
from Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, well, Jenny. I wanted to talk about some Jenny Lewis because she's Jenny Lewis. She's kind of
The
like
ginger? The redhead? chick?
yeah. She's like a Vegas like weird celebrity. Like,
Yeah, she's actually a musician now.
Yeah,
Like,
she's a
she started
musician now.
band.
Yeah, her dad was her mom and dad were both poker or blackjack dealers here in town or something like that. Or her mom was a showgirl, like she says her mom was.
I think her mom was a showgirl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's exactly like that. And,
So this,
yeah,
I'll tell you, out of all the scenes in this movie, the one that pissed me off the most was when she was telling the trucker like how to play craps.
Oh yeah.
and she was like, put it on a hard 8. I'm like, no.
yeah. She's like, play the pass line. I'm like, everybody plays the pass line. You have to play the pass line to play the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she tells him play the pass line. He wins on the pass line. Then she's like, play the field. And then he wins on the field. And then she's like, hard 8, put it on the hard 8. I'm like, you never put it on the hard 8.
Well, you know what's even weirder is the game's already go. I know how to play craps, so I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, they don't know how to play craps. They're just like,
weird flex.
I don't know how to play. The only time I've ever played craps is literally I had somebody narrating what it was exactly.
Was it Jenny Lewis?
It was almost like this scene, except it wasn't a 12-year-old girl.
You wanna
It was
go-
a giant black dude named Mr.
Yeah.
Cook.
well, to anyone who knows anything about craps, when you play like the hard 8 bet, it's a 30-to-1 odds. So like if for every dollar you bet, you get $30. Now, typically, if you're going to play that bet, you put down $1 in the hopes to win 30, because after every roll, those bets are like cleared. Now they put everything on hard 8, and so like there's like an astronomical chance that they were going to win that. But like I guess in order to get $400, they needed to win the hard 8 or something.
Well,
like
it
that.
is the wizard.
Yeah. But it was the girl telling people like
Well,
what to do.
Jenny had skills
yeah,
too.
she grew up in Reno, man. She's street
she
smart.
knows
She's
truckers.
savvy.
Knows truckers.
Biggest little city in the world.
This is a 1-star crap fest.
Oh, you guys suck.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. Let's do final thoughts. All right. So I don't think I've ever seen this entire movie. I have seen it before because I remember the kid going California. So I know it's in my head somewhere, but I've this is like a first watch basically for me. And I hated almost every single minute
Oh
of it.
my god.
The only parts that were even slightly redeeming is when the truckers came and beat the shit out of the freaking bounty hunter, and the 30 seconds where we get to see somebody play Mario Brothers 3. Like that was really the only thing.
I loved the entire video game tournament
Oh,
Section
that
of-
that freaking announcer guy, I am not even joking. He had to have been on cocaine.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's 89.
Yeah. Did you notice where they held the tournament was and right now it's a Transformers ride in Universal Studios Hollywood, but it's right next to the Jurassic Park exhibit in Universal Studios.
I've been there. Dude, I was that like 12-year-old kid who went on the Jurassic Park ride over and over and over again for like 3 hours.
Is this getting extra points from you?
That was me. No, fuck no.
Okay.
This is by far the most one-star-ish crap fest I've ever seen in my life. This is a terrible movie. I hate everybody in it, and I don't ever want to see it again.
Could you fix it?
Make the entire movie about video game Armageddon.
Okay.
The whole hour and a half, just have the kid beating the shit out of other kids at video games.
And have Fred Savage be the wizard. You know?
Sure, yeah.
Like the big problem with this movie
You don't,
is
like you don't like the autistic wizard?
it's basically Rainman but with video games.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a 9-year-old Rainman. It's terrible.
Yeah, Fred Savage is Tom Cruise. And
Yeah, and Jimmy's freaking Dustin Hoffman.
You got it.
It's awful.
Penelope Cruz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in that movie?
Right? Wasn't she?
Been a minute since I've seen it. I don't remember. Anyway, what's the star to you? What movie?
The amount that you like it is starting to affect our friendship, I
I'm
think.
staggered right now. I can't believe you actually are defending this movie.
Okay.
What do you give it?
You guys are jerks. Okay. So you're taking it way out of context for what it is. It's a freaking kids movie about video games.
Oh, I have never.
I saw it when I was 8 years old. I loved it. And I still have a place in my heart for this movie. It is really fun. It's a kids movie. It is straight up a kids movie. It doesn't make any sense to anybody but kids. And if you're an 8-year-old who loved Nintendo in 1989, this movie was great.
No, it's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie.
Doesn't work. That is not a valid defense for a movie.
Just saying.
Because then you're just saying it's okay that it's stupid because it's meant for small people.
We use it for, it's a comedy, so we'll give it this rating. It's a kids movie. It's a kids movie. It's really fun. It's got tons of people you love in it. The story is just fun. Okay, it's just fun. I didn't say it's good. I said it's fun. It's Stand By Me. It's Rain Man. It's all the best things of my. Oh my god. Nostalgia?
He's just like sticking a fork in the spaghetti and just twirling it up.
He's sticking a spork in a light plug.
And just loving every second of it. You guys don't understand.
How many stars?
You guys just don't understand what it's like to be a young boy wanting to run away from home and go to a video game tournament with your autistic brother. I realized how much fun that would have been watching this movie.
Hitchhiking all the way.
Dude, I'd love to hitchhike. Every 8-year-old wanted to run away from home and hitchhike and go play a video game tournament after watching this movie.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it a rating because you guys are jerks.
No, you have to. Come
You
on.
have
You guys are
to.
hurting my
Part of the
feelings.
job.
It's like my childhood is stupid to you morons. 10.
10 out of 5.
Okay.
You are an absurd person.
It's a fun movie. I loved every second of it.
You're insane.
Oh,
Okay,
I loved
all
every
right.
second of it.
All right.
It's got Christian Slater.
That's fine. That's fine.
Between him and Fred Savage, they were the coolest kids in Hollywood at the time.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
All right.
I don't care how much money it made. The movie's fun. You guys are dicks.
Jude. Did you get 1-star crap fest?
This is a 1-star crap fest. I hate it so much. I'm mad at every single person who was involved with making this movie.
They're reading a Nintendo Power right now. It's like my childhood on a toilet right there.
For me, the only way that this movie could have improved is if you had turned it into a horror movie and killed everyone.
My God. Okay. The video game announcer fondled that girl's pigtails. Mm-hmm. Cross the line, man.
He could be president today.
Cross the line.
Well, I also think it's funny that like the image that this movie had of like a girl who's good at video games is that girl.
What? Who's
The horse-faced pigtails.
Oh, damn. Ow.
she's the kind of girl who don't leave the room too much.
They're like, this looks like the type of girl who'd be good at video games. Ow.
And then like as soon as everybody gets to Universal and sees Jimmy in the tournament, it's all okay.
Don't even get me started on why the parents were at Universal Studios while their child was missing.
The video Armageddon. Video Armageddon.
That's why they went?
Yeah. I went to Nickelodeon Studios when I was a kid, and I got to go on a show. It was a pilot, and I got to play video games on the show.
You were a pilot?
Yeah, I was on pilot. I beat the girl. I wasn't gonna let a girl beat me in video games.
So at a certain point, the bounty hunter calls up the parents of Joshua and tells them Jimmy
Joshua,
and tells them that I'm getting my video game movie. and tells them that they're headed to this video game tournament. And so like that's why the parents showed up there. It wasn't just like, oh, like they kind of came out of the blue.
There's continuity.
Yeah.
That kid has been saying California for at least a year, and they won't take him there until he takes himself there. And they're like, I guess we'll go too. Fuck them. I hate those parents. They're stupid. I hate them.
I'm with Jude.
Well, yeah, they're bad parents.
They're horrible parents.
Yeah, they're neglecting, and then they hate each other.
They tried to put him in a home and just leave him there.
You know, it's just a good example of why the nuclear family should be supported in this country, and how we.
So the evil stepdad was the one who wanted to put him in the home. The mother was very conflicted about it.
Evil stepdad.
Yeah,
it's a Disney movie. All of a sudden,
it's a kids movie.
Final rating.
There's a wizard. There's a wizard.
She should have stabbed the stepdad in his sleep, murdered him, and gone on the run to California with her kid. End of story.
I'm down for that movie. Kadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
So this is very much a movie that's a product of its time. And if you don't know a lot of the context around like the making of the movie and like when it came out and stuff like that, and you're just judging it based off its merits as a movie, it's not very good. Like to me, like I wouldn't go so far as to call it a 1-star crap fest, but this is definitely like a 2-star movie in my opinion. It's just, you know, 2/3 of this movie is not very good. It's just like a movie about a road trip gone wrong, and like they're hustling people using this kid playing video games, and it's just not very believable that they'd be hustling
Jackoffs
these
gave
old
a
men.
5 to Eurotrip last week.
Anyway, overall, like I didn't hate this movie as much as you know, my lovely lady here and Alex.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you gonna call me?
But
these broads over here.
but I feel like all their criticisms are valid, and so like I can't really give this thing anything more than a 2 because it's just like it's a movie. It's an okay movie.
All right, that's enough salt for The Wizard. I don't even know what to say about it. I wouldn't go watch. Don't, Jesus Christ. All right, moving on. The next one.
Let your kids watch it.
No. They wouldn't get it.